What if I told you that a single Instagram post could destroy a 7-month relationship? That one beach photo could reveal everything wrong between two people who thought they were perfect for each other? Hi everyone, I'm Emma, and today I'm sharing a story that will make you question everything you think you know about social media, relationships, and respect. This is about Sarah, a 26-year-old influencer who thought she was just sharing a cute beach moment with her family, but her boyfriend saw something completely different. By the end of this story, you'll understand why sometimes the things we post online say more about us than we realize. And trust me, this ending will surprise you. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. Are you Team Sarah or Team Boyfriend? Let's see what you think after hearing this story. Sarah had worked incredibly hard to build her social media presence. 8,000 followers didn't just appear overnight. She spent months creating content, going viral on TikTok, and learning exactly what her audience wanted to see. And yes, she knew she looked amazing in a bikini. She wasn't ashamed of that. Her boyfriend Marcus was different from her usual type. He was quieter, worked in graphic design, and had this adorable obsession with old cameras. They'd met at a friend's party where he spent the whole evening stealing glances at her from across the room, before finally getting the courage to talk to her. For 7 months, things were wonderful. Marcus was sweet, thoughtful, and genuinely cared about her. Sure, they'd had one awkward moment when he joked about preferring tall blondes, and Sarah, being 5'3" with brown hair, didn't find that funny at all. But he apologized quickly, calling it a stupid joke. Everything seemed perfect until that weekend in Tampa. Sarah had a special tradition with her mom, beach days where they'd catch up on life, just the two of them. This time, her cousin Maya joined them. Maya had just gone through a terrible breakup, so Sarah's mom thought some sun and cocktails might help her heal. They spent the entire day there, swimming, sunbathing, and just enjoying each other's company. Sarah's mom, being the photographer she was, took dozens of pictures of her girls having fun. There was one photo that stood out immediately. Sarah and Maya sitting at the beach bar, drinks in hand, ocean sparkling behind them. Sarah was wearing this gorgeous emerald red bikini she'd bought specifically for the trip. It matched her eyes perfectly and, honestly, made her look incredible. The moment Sarah saw the photo, she knew it was Instagram gold. The lighting was perfect. Both she and Maya looked happy and beautiful, and that ocean backdrop was stunning. She posted it with a simple caption, "Beach vibes with family." Within an hour, the post had 500 likes and comments pouring in. Fire emojis, gorgeous comments, the usual engagement she was used to. Nothing seemed unusual or inappropriate to her. But that evening, when Marcus called, everything changed. Sarah expected a normal conversation. Maybe Marcus missed her. Maybe he wanted to hear about her day. Instead, his first words were cold and direct. "I saw your post." Not hello, not how was your day. Just that accusation hanging in the air. When Sarah asked which post, Marcus's voice got even colder. "The bikini one." Sarah actually laughed. She thought he was joking. "Oh, that? Yeah, it's cute, right? Mom took it." The silence that followed was deafening. "Do you think it's appropriate to post something like that when you're in a relationship?" Marcus asked. Sarah's heart sank. This wasn't a joke. He was serious. Dead serious. "Marcus, it's a beach photo. I'm with my mom and cousin. It's not like I'm doing anything inappropriate." "Sarah, it's a full-body shot of you in a tiny bikini," he replied, his voice taking on this preachy tone she'd never heard before. "Your comments are full of guys hitting on you." This is where Sarah got defensive. Those weren't guys hitting on her. They were just her followers engaging with her content. That's how social media worked. She'd built this following before she even met Marcus. But Marcus wasn't backing down. "You could make your account private," he suggested, like it was the most obvious solution in the world. "And lose all my engagement? No thanks." The argument escalated quickly. Marcus called the photo disrespectful to their relationship. Sarah defended her right to post whatever she wanted. Neither was really listening to the other. They agreed to talk in person the next day. But Sarah was furious. Who did Marcus think he was, trying to control her social media? She spent the rest of the night aggressively cleaning her apartment, her go-to stress response, while rehearsing all the things she should have said to him. The next day, Marcus looked exhausted when he arrived at Sarah's apartment. Part of her felt concerned, but she pushed that feeling away. He was the one making a big deal out of nothing. "I've been thinking about boundaries in our relationship," Marcus began, settling awkwardly on her couch. Sarah actually laughed out loud. "Boundaries? Marcus, it's social media. It's not that deep." "It is to me," he insisted. "When I'm with someone, I expect a certain level of exclusivity, not just physically, but in how we present ourselves to the world." "It's a beach photo," Sarah repeated. "I was with my mom and cousin. It's not like I was at some club." But Marcus wasn't letting it go. "Sarah, be honest with yourself. You know exactly what you're doing with photos like that. You know your followers are mostly guys. You know what kind of attention you're getting." "So what?" Sarah shot back. "So I have followers who think I'm attractive? That doesn't mean I'm doing anything wrong." "It's disrespectful to our relationship," Marcus said, his voice rising. "It makes me uncomfortable knowing that you're actively seeking that kind of attention from other men." "I'm not actively seeking anything," Sarah replied, making air quotes. "I'm just living my life and posting about it. If you can't handle that, maybe the problem is you." That's when Marcus said something that really stung. "The problem is that we seem to have very different values. My standard is that the person I'm with doesn't need external validation from strangers on the internet." Sarah felt like he'd slapped her. Who was he to psychoanalyze her like that? "Don't try to make this about my self-esteem," she fired back. "This is about you being controlling." They argued in circles for almost an hour, Marcus explaining why the post made him uncomfortable, Sarah defending her right to post whatever she wanted, neither budging an inch. Finally, Marcus stood up. "I think we should take some time apart, figure out what we both want." Sarah felt like the ground had disappeared beneath her feet. "Are you breaking up with me?" "I don't know," Marcus admitted. "I just know I need space to think." And with that, he left. Just walked out, leaving Sarah standing there in complete shock. Sarah spent the next few hours cycling between tears and rage. She called her best friend Jessica, who came over with wine and ice cream, ready to support her. But as Jessica listened to the story, Sarah noticed something strange. Jessica wasn't automatically taking her side. She kept saying things like, "He could have communicated better, but," or, I get where he's coming from." "Wait," Sarah said, narrowing her eyes. "Do you agree with him?" Jessica looked uncomfortable. "I don't think he should have given you an ultimatum, but that photo is pretty revealing, Sarah, and some of those comments are definitely thirsty." Sarah kicked Jessica out after that. Some best friend she was. The next day, Marcus texted asking if they could talk that night. Sarah spent the entire day obsessing over what he might say. Was he coming to apologize? To officially break up with her? By evening, she'd convinced herself he was coming to apologize, and she'd graciously forgive him. But the moment she opened the door, she knew that wasn't happening. Marcus looked determined, resolved. "I've been thinking about our relationship," he started. "About what we both want." "Me too," Sarah jumped in. "I think we both said things we didn't mean." Marcus shook his head. "I meant everything I said, Sarah. I don't think we want the same things. I want a relationship where both people prioritize each other's feelings, where there's mutual respect and consideration." "I respect you," Sarah protested. "Do you? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like you care more about likes and comments from strangers than you do about how your actions affect me." The conversation went downhill from there. Sarah accused him of being controlling and outdated. Marcus said he couldn't be with someone who needed that kind of validation from other men. "So that's it?" Sarah asked, feeling tears spring to her eyes. "You're breaking up with me over a photo?" "It's not about the photo, Sarah. It's about us wanting fundamentally different things." "Fine," Sarah said, anger and hurt making her voice shake. "Then I guess we can't be together." Marcus looked at her for a long moment. "I'm sorry you feel that way. I really did care about you, Sarah." As he headed for the door, panic rose in Sarah's chest. "Marcus, wait! Maybe we can compromise." He turned back. "What kind of compromise?" Sarah fumbled for words. "I could tone down my posts? Be more mindful?" "Would you take down the beach photo?" he asked directly. Sarah hesitated. 1,500 likes. All those comments. The most engagement she'd had in months. I don't think that's necessary. It's just a beach photo. Marcus nodded like she'd confirmed something for him. That's what I thought. Goodbye, Sarah. And he was gone. Sarah couldn't believe it was really over. She texted Marcus. You're being ridiculous. Call me when you've calmed down. No response. She tried calling, straight to voicemail. By the third day, desperation had set in. She missed him terribly. Their movie nights, the way he remembered exactly how she liked her coffee. She texted again, I miss you. Can we please talk? I think we can work this out. His response crushed her. Sarah, I've had time to think and my decision hasn't changed. Our values are too different. I wish you the best, but I don't think we should talk anymore. Something snapped inside Sarah. Fine. If that's how he wanted to play it, she'd show him what he was missing. She posted an even more revealing photo from the same beach day, this one of her in the water, bikini wet, giving the camera a sultry look. Caption: single and loving it. The likes and comments poured in immediately, men telling her how gorgeous she was, how any guy would be lucky to have her. It felt good for about 5 minutes, but as night fell and she was alone in her apartment, the hollow feeling in her chest only grew. The validation from strangers felt emptier than ever. In a moment of clarity, Sarah deleted both beach photos from her Instagram. Then she sent Marcus one last message. I took down the photos. I'm sorry for not respecting your feelings. I miss you. Can we please talk? She waited all night for a response that never came. The next morning, she discovered he'd unfollowed and blocked her everywhere. A week later, Sarah did something she's not proud of. She waited outside Marcus's office building, catching him as he left work. Marcus, I needed to talk to you. You blocked me everywhere. He looked uncomfortable. I blocked you because I needed space. This isn't okay, Sarah. I know, I'm sorry, she said quickly. I just miss you. I understand now why you were upset. I was dismissive of your feelings. Marcus's expression softened slightly, but he still looked guarded. I appreciate the apology, but I meant what I said. Our values are just too different. They don't have to be, Sarah insisted. I can change. I'll make my Instagram private. I'll stop posting those kinds of photos. He was already shaking his head. That's not what I want. I don't want you to change who you are for me. That would just make you resent me later. But I want to change, Sarah said desperately. You were right about seeking validation from strangers. It's empty. Marcus looked at her sadly. I'm glad you've had that realization, but Sarah, you only came to it after I left. You weren't willing to even consider my perspective when we were together. I understand now, Sarah said softly. I believe that you think you do, Marcus replied. But if we got back together, we'd eventually end up right back here. Because fundamentally, we want different things. He walked away without looking back, leaving Sarah standing on the sidewalk feeling like a complete fool. That night, Sarah deactivated her Instagram account. Not permanently, but she needed time to think, to figure out who she was without the constant validation of likes and comments. A month later, she saw Marcus at a coffee shop with a woman, tall, blonde, exactly his type. They were laughing together, looking happy. It stung, but not as much as she expected. 6 months after their breakup, Sarah literally ran into Marcus leaving a bookstore. They talked briefly, and she apologized again, this time genuinely. He looked lighter, happier than she remembered. A year later, Sarah is still single, still healing, still learning. Her Instagram following has dropped significantly. Turns out when you stop posting revealing photos, those followers disappear. But the ones who stayed actually care about her as a person. She still thinks about Marcus sometimes, wondering what might have been if she'd been more mature. She checks his Instagram occasionally. He unblocked her eventually. There's a new girl in his photos now, a brunette ironically, and they look genuinely happy. It stings, but not as much as it used to. Because Marcus taught Sarah something valuable. Real connection with one person who truly cares about you is worth more than shallow validation from thousands of strangers. Sarah still uses social media, but differently now. She posts about things that matter. Her new apartment, the dog she adopted, her promotion at work. She's not chasing likes anymore. That beach photo wasn't just a cute picture. Marcus was right. It was a cry for attention, a need for validation she couldn't get from within. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with posting bikini photos, Sarah understands now why it bothered him. It wasn't about the photo itself. It was about her dismissal of his feelings, her prioritization of strangers' validation over his comfort in their relationship. What do you think? Was Marcus being controlling, or was Sarah being disrespectful? The truth is, relationships require compromise and understanding from both sides. If this story touched you, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to Amelia's Stories. We share real stories about real people navigating love, loss, and everything in between. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a story that might just change how you see the world. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.